Hello everyone, how's it going? It's Phil again with another video. I'm continuing my exploration with Splinter Cell, the 2003 PC version, and a couple of members on Vogons have actually discovered that when you tweak the graphic settings in the game that you get a significant performance boost. So I thought, hey, let's have a look at that in a bit more detail and let's make a video out of it. So in the game, you have to go to the options, and then under graphics, you've got two settings you can play with, three settings: the resolution, the shadow resolution, and the effects quality. In this video, we're going to start with the effects quality. So let's have a look what we're going to cover. So first, we're going to have a look at what features are affected by this setting here. I will talk about the system I used to create this video, the screenshots. Then we have a look at image comparison. So I'm going to show you the details from low, medium, high to very high, and it's up to you whether or not you think it's okay to sacrifice the image quality, or if you want to keep all the detail. And then we have a look at performance comparison, because as you know, when you lower the effects quality, you expect a bit of better performance in return. So this is from the README file, and it talks about the effects quality. And it's got a little table here, and you can see here the detail from low, medium, high to very high. And you can see that the rain is not affected, that's still the same. The thermal vision quality, there seems to be a big difference. So nominal, good, better, and excellent. So we will check out what's the difference between better and excellent. Night vision render, there's no difference on all these three settings. All actor rendered, again, there's no difference. Light beams, there's also no difference. And then we have one more feature here that has a difference, which is the shadow filtering kernel. To be honest, I've got no idea what that means. It mentions it here. In addition, this setting also has an impact of the size of the filtering kernel of several post-rendering filters in the game. Not sure what this means. If you have a clue, please leave a message and maybe explain it to me. It would be very interesting. But 3x2, 3x3, doesn't sound like a big of a difference. So what I'm expecting is to see a little difference in terms of the game, but you'll see quite a difference with the thermal vision quality. And as we later see, this is the most stressful setting in the game. So when you turn on thermal vision quality on excellent, the performance will actually really suffer. So let's have a look at the system I've used. An 8-bit i7 motherboard, Pentium 4 2.8, GB dual channel RAM. I'm using a NVIDIA GeForce 4 Ti 4800 SE, a Sound Blaster Audio-G Windows XP Service Pack 2. The driver I'm using is 45.23. It's quite important that you get the right driver for this game, because there are a lot of little glitches if you get one that's too early or too late. I'm using DirectX 9, and all the images have been taken at 1280 by 1024. So let's have a look at the pictures. So this is the effects quality very high. And let's move forward to the next slide. So here we've got very high and high. So I'm just going to flick back and forth between them. So we can see a lot more detail here. For example, that detail here gets a bit blurred out. There's some detail on the vest that also gets blurred out. It's basically just a blurrier version. Okay, so let's have a look at medium, and this is low. So I'm just gonna flick back and forth. So is it a deal breaker? Well, it's hard to say. Very high does look nice, but you have to remember, in the heat of the moment, you're not gonna stare at the graphics all the time. So, and this is a close-up as well. So I've got some more pictures in this scene. This is like pretty much how you play the game, a bit zoomed out. And let's have a look at here. So you can notice as you can actually see the night vision goggles in quite a bit of detail. And then here's also you can clearly see the outline of the weapon and the belt here. And that detail gets lost a little bit when you flick between very high and high. And yeah, it just gets worse. So that's basically what the quality difference is. However, there's a big benefit when we look at performance. So if you play it very high, you only get a frame rate of 22 frames, but if you change that to high, you triple your frame rate to 62.4 frames, and that's a huge bonus. So you have to think about, is that image quality worth a third of the frame rate? And to be honest, it's hard to justify because it still looks pretty good. You can see where all the hit elements are, and you can see the enemy, and you can still play. So, but that's a decision ultimately you have to make. And going from medium to low, we're not gaining any more performance. That's probably for some weaker graphics cards, like if you've got a GeForce 3. But on this GeForce 4, there's not much gain to be had, and 62 frames is actually very, very good. And that's it for the video. So hope you enjoyed it. Gave you an idea of the quality difference between the effects quality. And yep, let me know what you think and whether or not you would go with the high setting for the better quality, or if you would go with the better frames per second.